Okay, we have our function here, and I created a very simple program where I had a text box called the string and a button that all it did is run the function. Now, the first thing I started thinking about is how think of an example, and decided something's a palindrome. You see if the first letter here matches the last letter, and then you see if the second letter matches this letter. Well, let's think more about that. You're checking the first letter from the left side against the first letter from the right side. Here you're checking the second letter from the left side with the second letter from the right side. So it looks like we need to decide the positions from both sides. Well, first off, we got four positions in this example, 0 through 3. And if I looked at the length of it, if I took the string.length, the string is what I'm assigning it to, divide by 2, you'd have 4 divided by 2, which gives you 2. Okay, so for my loop, I want to go halfway through the string. So I just want to loop from position 0 to position 1. And then as I'm doing that, I'm going to compare the first position from the left to the first position from the right. Then the second position from the left to the second position to the right. And that's what I just said right here. Which positions I'm wanting to compare. Well, then I started thinking, well, to figure out the position from the left is easy. That's handled automatically with our variable x. The position from the right isn't so easy though, but it has to be based upon the length. Well, I guess I shouldn't say it has to be. That's how I approached it. So my length is 4. So I'm starting to think, okay, this first loop time through, x is equal to 0. How can I use 4 to get 3? Well, 4 minus 0 would be 4. That's not it. But if I subtract another 1, 4 minus 0 minus 1. 4 minus 0 is 4 minus 1 gives us 3. Okay, that seems to work. But let's see how it works for this one. This is position 1, and I want to access compare it against this position. Okay, so 4 minus 1 is 3, minus another 1 is 2. So that'd give us this position. And if I continued the thought process here, if I had a couple more positions, 4 and 5, okay, and I'm thinking that this is the trick right here. Length minus x minus 1. Okay, I'm wanting to loop through these first 3. So then this first position, 0. If I put 0 in here, what's my length now? Length is 6. 6 minus 0 minus 1 is 5. That would give me this one. That works. If I put 1 in, 6 minus 1 minus 1 is 4. That would give me this one. That works. And then this one. 6 minus 2 minus 1 is 3, which would give me this one. So this length minus x minus 1 will work. I had it wrong to begin with. I put a plus here. Well, actually, I've had quite a few things wrong trying to get this to work. But I put a plus here. And then I did some alerts where I printed out what it was giving me. Okay, and here's what it looks like. Okay, so if I click that, here's my entire string. And what in the world was 3? Oh, that was length. Oops. That was my length divided by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. But remember, you only want to loop through the first 3 characters with the palindrome. Okay, there's our first letter, D. There's our last letter, D. There's our second letter, A. Here's our second letter from the right side, A. Here's our third letter, V. And here's our third letter from the right side, V. And that shows you how you can cycle through those. Now, there's different ways you can do it at that point, but that shows you how to access each one of them in pairs. You got a palindrome flag I created here, and you can do a check here. You assume it's not a palindrome. You assume it is a palindrome. Then down here, you need to check these characters. If they're not the same, then that means it's not a palindrome. And then you handle it appropriately.